Well, it's a scene that could be straight out of Africa, but in fact, it's just a few minutes' drive from the heart of Melbourne. Here at the Werribee Zoo, the zebras think they're right at home. In fact, the conditions are so good that the population is thriving.
We began back in 1981 with about 8 individuals that came from Rotterdam in the Netherlands. And those animals have been here breeding quite freely. And now we have 27 animals on this particular enclosure, and of course the bachelor group as well. That represents something of a success story, I think.
As Werribee's curator, Peter Stroud's delight is understandable. This is now Australia's largest herd of Chapman zebras. Now, just for the record, the Chapman subspecies has gentle brown shadowing against the white background and black stripes. Or is that black background and white stripes? It's a question that gets most visitors to Werribee guessing.
I guess black background with white stripes.
It's a white background and a black stripe.
Well, to settle the controversy, we enlisted the help of Werribee tour guide and zoologist Jennifer Ford.
They have black skin, but they have white coat and black coat, which forms stripes.
Right.
In fact, each zebra has a different pattern of stripes, sort of like a fingerprint, which gives them their own individual identity. So now that's settled, let's get on with our safari, Werribee style.
I can see these foals here. The one behind is about 3 weeks old, and the one just in front there is around 10 weeks old.
Jennifer has earned her stripes in zebra research. For her PhD, she's studying the effects of captivity on the zebra populations, both in the smaller exhibit at Melbourne Zoo and here at Werribee. And she's finding these animals have a close to natural existence.
Similarities are that it's a fairly large open space with a lot of grazing opportunities for them, as zebras do spend a large percentage of the day, around 60% of the day, grazing. And also they have the extra stimulation of other animals about.
In the wild, zebras live in large families led by a dominant stallion. Werribee has 4 such groups, and with Jennifer's help, we can see how each member plays a distinct role.
What's happening here is the group is moving from one place to another, and normally it's the dominant mare that decides where they're going to go, and normally the family stallion will just either take up behind or just go along the side, often, you know, in his protecting role, just watching out for things around them.
Any changes to the family hierarchy bring quite a period of adjustment.
We replaced the family stallion here mainly because this new stallion has more valuable genes, so we need to retain genetic diversity. Initially there'll be a lot of interaction that he'll try to initiate with the mares, as you can see, and also other stallions from other families will come to smooth things over with him by greeting, and also there'll be a little bit of fighting initially.
They may not use words like us, but zebras do communicate very effectively and quite physically too. This colt has the scars to prove it.
His mother has recently given birth to a foal, and when that occurs, he'll want to stay around his mother, but the mother is very protective of that foal and will try to keep him away.
When this youngster does eventually get the message, he'll move out and join what's known as a bachelor group with other colts and older males. In most cases, females will move out too when they're ready to breed.
Normally, a mare, when it's up to around 2 or 3 years of age, will leave its family group, the family it's born into, and it's abducted, if you like, by stallions from the surrounding area. And this hasn't happened here, so there is in fact 2 generations within this one family.
There may be some minor differences, but 2 years of close monitoring have showed Jennifer these zebras do share a lot in common with their cousins that roam free in Africa.
And so far the behaviour here is very close to that seen in the wild. in terms of the time budgets of the animals, also interactions that go on between the stallions, between the mares and the foals. I'm seeing a lot of similarities.
Well, that's good news for these animals and great news for Werribee Zoo, which has been able to send members of this thriving herd to start new colonies in open zoos around Australia and New Zealand.
We hope that the picture we've developed here with this species can be an example for others. It proves, yet again, as we learn so often in zoos, if you work with the nature of the animal and the animal's biology rather than against it, then